Hey guys, Tomboy601, and it's that time of the update again, the time where we look back at the update, give it a letter grade, and just talk through and kind of see what was what. Of course, this was a fairly long update cycle of 6 weeks, but I think it was an overall pretty excellent update. First off, let's talk about the campaign ship Minotaur. Oh boy, did I quickly become a fan of legendary tier. And if there's one thing that this update cycle has a theme, it's legendary. Everything seemed to focus in on the legendary tier. I think it was a good job for Wargaming to do that because a lot of us have been criticizing legendary tier for its lack of variety of play, its lack of balance, its lack of a diverse set of ships, therefore adding to a poor gaming experience, a poor gameplay loop. And I think we got a preview of what Wargaming is thinking what legendary tier can be. And I, for one, have bought in a little more. I am very, very happy with this update. I'm very, very happy with the two light cruisers we got to experience this update. And I think Minotaur was an excellent choice as a campaign ship, just because it at least gets a light cruiser out and into the hands of the general player base quickly, efficiently, and now legendary tier won't be as much of a slog. And I have probably one of a new favorite ship, though I do think legendary tier also grated on me after a while, just simply for the fact of how much we were kind of forced to play it, especially if we wanted to win certain reward ships, if you know what I mean. Beyond that, let's continue talking about legendary tier. The other thing that came during this update, we had a full set of 3 arenas that all featured legendary tiers, which I think that's what really dragged me down. I was like, ooh, 3 tiers, 3 weekends in a row of legendary arena. I didn't even play one of them. I'll be honest. I was like, I can't find the inspiration. But what I did enjoy Wargaming doing was putting out those sets of ships to be rented. So if you haven't progressed all the way, there was a semi-affordable way for you to dip your foot into the legendary tier, advertise that tier, get it into you, make it so that you understand what ships you liked, what ships you didn't like, and have a way so that you're able to go, okay, I may have the ability to research all these ships, but I now know which ones are my favorites, because that's kind of been one of the drawbacks to the legendary tier system with the Bureau of, oh, there's a lot of time sink in order to get into a legendary ship, and now we have a better way, a way to kind of preview it, and I enjoyed them giving access to all of these legendary ships for rent. And speaking of ships that were up for rent, let's talk Colbert. Because, yeah, Minotaur was the star of the beginning of the update, but I think Colbert is the star of the end of the update. An HE slinging ship that's been teased to us for how many months in the arena load screen. And it performs well. It has a unique role compared to the Minotaur. It has a niche, and that's one of the things I like about the higher tier ships, is they find a little niche. They are not all the same. And Colbert, it's fast, it's maneuverable, and if you know what you're doing, you can bounce most shells in it. It is a monster when played at high skill levels, or it can be something that can be so easily dev struck it's not even funny. A perfect balance of skill, ability, and a overall deadly package. Colbert and Minotaur both kind of fit that bill, and it was really nice to see that kind of level of ship. The next ship I want to talk about was the Lion, and this gets us into sort of the 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 events of this update, the both out of game and like uh bonus objectives. Lion, 16-inch guns on a King George. It's a great ship. I just wish, I know they tried to do their best explaining how to earn it, but I think they did a fairly poor job in explaining all the ways to earn the winter coins. Also, I will always say it, I wish they would end up giving the players the ability to earn the ship without paying money. I think Lion is definitely a ship people will want to see. It is nice that they did say, hey, just a heads up, you don't have to spend the money right now. There are plans to bring this ship to you guys in a different manner, so you can kind of say, okay, maybe I don't spend the money in order to earn outright the lion, but they let you know that up front, which does kind of give them I give them credit for being like, hey, we will bring it back in other ways. The next kind of change to this update was the guises. I really, really enjoy the guises, just for the fact that they add a new way to customize your historical commanders, and they add a way to do that without adding commanders that are otherwise not free, right? I think one of the appeals to event commanders is the fact that is that they have unique skills, and they change like the voices and all of that. They have a way to customize it, and that they are different. I think guises giving it that for historical commanders gives a way to show that off, and it gives Wargaming the ability, if they want, and I really do hope they do this, if they want to add more historical commanders in the future, but give a way to sell a premium commander along with it, or premium guys along with it, that then allows them to kind of justify in the record books of, hey, we put out a new commander and we didn't make any money. Well, if we sell it along with a guys, and then just put that commander in the regular loot pool, then there is a way for them to kind of make money off of adding new historical commanders, which, that's not, they have to make money, and I think that is a better compromise than the current system of getting commanders that kind of shift the meta only behind a paywall, right? I think that's a much bigger and better option. Now let's talk about what I think was the most disappointing part of this update. The Winter Flurry web event. Like last year we had an advent calendar and you could earn a tier 4 premium for free. You could earn that hot neck for free. This web event, oof. I got a good number of gifts the first day, but as it went on, there wasn't really a way for you to see that your gifts were really being delivered. So it kind of just felt like you were throwing money into the void just to get yourself a certain potato. I definitely spent my in-game currency to earn myself the potato, but I kind of wish I hadn't. It was very much a game where I was like, or an event where I was like, okay, there isn't a good reward system. There isn't a very good way to tell, oh, things are going back. There wasn't that good feedback loop that you'd want to see, and you would expect game designers to be able to realize what to be able to design that good feedback loop. I think it was just missing from the winter event, and as a result, it was by far the worst part of the update. After that, we did have a nice little free bureau project that rewarded us some new camos, and they've added other camos in throughout the season. You could pick those up for all sorts of ships. I do enjoy when they add new camos. I don't think I will be using any of them just because they're so winter themed. The ones that are for like Fletcher, Vanguard, Implacable, and Hipper do look a little bit better, but the rest of them just feel kind of off, and I won't be using them. Now let's talk about probably the most controversial part of this update, and that is the Secret Santa, and more importantly, the Super Santa 22 crates. I'll be honest, guys, I spent a ton of money this update. I spent a lot of money trying to get myself one of the super prizes. They warned us not to, and I did get myself a ton of new premiums that I didn't have, and a lot of what I'd call duplicates, where like I had the Black Friday version, but I didn't have the original ship. I kind of filled out my roster of original ships. I just wish that there was a way to guarantee the super prize. I kind of feel it's still kind of weird and scummy for them to announce the whole guaranteed mechanic and then take it away for super prize ships. I understand not wanting to give someone 100,000 doubloons guaranteed, but I think there is a world where you're like, oh, no, we definitely should allow the guaranteed drop to be well within for the super ships. And besides, I don't think I bought, let's be clear, I think I spent maybe $300 on crates during this update, and I never actually hit the point where I would have gotten to the 40 guaranteed drop ship. I kept on receiving new ships before that 40 guarantee. So I don't know who it really would have been hurting, just because, well, if you don't have all of the other ships that were on offer, there's probably going to be you like, if you didn't have all the other ships, I don't think you're whaling your way into those super prize ships if they're even in the guaranteed pool. But yeah, I think what they had on offer was really great. I just think that was the lack of being the guaranteed super prize was a bit disappointing. Finally, let's talk premium ships. We had the Lion technically added. We also had the second steel ship added, the Murmansk. It's an Omaha or a Marblehead, guys, with Russian paint. I was not too big of a fan of it. It's interesting that they added it for steel. I didn't foresee a new steel ship so soon, but it is nice to see it in rotation and them adding something else for that currency. But it's one that they took away, and I was like, oh, okay, oh well, I don't need it in my port ever again. And of course, we did also have Azuma come back for this update, and it's Azuma, guys. I made a video about it. It's okay. It just needs some love, and I just think it needs a bit more love than it was given, especially when you consider it was like built to be a counter to Alaska, or Alaska was built to counter it. Basically, those two ships are supposed to be the same side, the two different sides of the same coin, and they perform vastly different in game, and I definitely know which of the two ships I would prefer to be in if I had a choice. And yeah, it's Alaska. But yeah, guys, that is the update. As far as a letter grade goes, I'm going to give this update a solid A-. I think the whole idea of, hey, this was the legendary update. We are going to show you what we think the future of legendary tier is. We're going to give you an excellent campaign ship. We are going to have pretty decent drop rates in those Super Santa crates. We're going to have, the ability to rent out the legendaries. Yes, it's going to get draining, but you know what? I had a blast. I definitely have felt that legendary tier has been revitalized thanks to this update, and that was one of the biggest complaints coming into this update was, yo, what about legendary tier? And I think Wargaming really delivered. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Of course, stay tuned on Monday because it is update day, so we will have a ton of exciting things. Currently, I don't know what's in it because I'm recording this the Saturday before this video goes live, so almost a week away from when I have the patch notes. So hopefully we'll have an excellent first update of 2022, but only you will know and not me right now. Anyways, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.